Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the final round of the ARC Team vs. Team Championship. We're here at beautiful Spa-Francorchamps today, and my name is Lateral G, and I'm joined here in the commentary booth by
Red Savoy, and we've been also introduced by
ARC Ruby. Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Gentlemen, Ruby is here to join us for this last race of the Team versus Team Championships, and it should be a pretty good one. Spa's a very exciting track. It's something that we as Gran Turismo racers have been waiting for a long time. Now it's in the game, so it should be a pretty good one here. It's especially a fun one to drive in these Corvettes that they're driving today. But before we jump into things here, as we're waiting for qualifying to get started, let's have a look at our points going into this final round. So there they are, and it's a bit brutal to look at, to be honest, but ARC is kind of dominating out front. The next closest team is in second place, which is GTRT with 57 points, but only 1 point behind them in third right now is CSX with 56 points. So that second place in the Team versus Team Championship, it could go either way today.
It's really a case of GTRT down to DRE that can have a battle for that second place. Ictish for the real big losers in all that. If you can remember, think back to Barcelona when they had their drivers, they made that fatal mistake of making another pit stop with using another set of soft tires, which is obviously not allowed. the rules state that you're only allowed one set of softs in your arsenal. So they made that fatal mistake. What could have been for them, they could have been well ahead of them because they had both their drivers in. I think it was in the top 6, and they ended up finishing 6th and 11th their drivers. So it's really out in the open to see who would come in second place.
That it is. As you mentioned, it's from 2nd all the way down to 5th between GTRT, CSX, Igtish, and DRE. They're all separated by what looks to be 13 points. So that 2nd place, 3rd place, 4th, and 5th up in the air today, depending on everyone's results. And looking at some of the caliber of drivers we have today, I see CSX has brought out some fast drivers in Dylan Cliff, and even SAS, although they're in 6th place right now, their drivers that they're bringing with Landertron, who we've seen in our GR3 championship season before, we know he's a quick driver, so we could see even SAS scoring some solid points today.
Yeah, they're bringing out all the big guns for this finale of this history making this championship with 7 different teams going at it.
And speaking of doing laps around here at Spa, let's jump over to my cohort Savloy's track guide for around Spa on the GR3 Corvette.
That's me. 7 great teams going wheel to wheel around the beautiful circuit in Spa-Francorchamps. 4.3 miles of just sheer brilliance and a total of 20 corners in all. And the car they're racing is the Chevrolet Corvette C7. This track is just absolutely amazing. It's a driver's favourite. Let's just get on with a lap around this track, shall we? So you ride on board with me, my Savoy, behind the wheel of the Chevrolet Corvette C7. Across the start finish line we go right now to start our hot lap. You want to be braking just after the 100-metre board for turn 1, the last source hairpin all the way down to first gear, 40 miles an hour. Get back on the power as early as you can, short shift into second to cancel the traction. And now we're getting ready for one of the most, amazing, breathtaking corners in the world. Turns 3 and 4, Eau Rouge to Radion. Absolutely amazing scenes through there. Now we're on to Kemmel, and then onto the Kemmel straightaway. Whole scenes of one of the most greatest overtakes in the history of Formula 1 when Mika Hakkinen passed Michael Schumacher and a lap car to get a win around here back in 2000. Breaking started the curve for turn 7 and 8, Lake Comber. Second gear, short shift into third. And now turn 9 is approaching Malmedy. A little lift off the throttle, hit the apex nicely. And now into turn 10 we go Rivage. It's a second gear hairpin, brake again at the start of the curb. Tickle with the throttle, as you can see there, a little tickle with it. And now getting ourselves ready for turn 11, the corner with no name. Short straightaway approaching, we've got to be towards turn 12 Pouon. It's a fast double left-hander complex. But they've also improved the AstroTurf around here. You won't get the car sideways, which is great. 5th gear on the exit. You only just needed to drop at least 1 gear, 2 if you wanted to, but really you want to drop 1 gear. Now we're in towards the Lefania Chicanes. Turns 13 and 14, 2nd gear, short shifted to 3rd again. And now we've got the 2 Stavolo corners approaching. Turns 15 and 16. There's a Stavolo 1. It's a really annoying corner. You want to get back on the power early, but it doesn't want to let you. This is a little lift off the throttle in 4th gear, 115 on the exit. Going by another penalty burn here. That would be the last of them. The other penalty burns would be at the start finish straight and on the Kemmel straightaway. I forgot to mention about that as well. Turn 17 is here, and now we're getting towards one of the most dangerous corners, but they've improved over the years. Blanchimont. Little lift off the throttle there just to keep the car in their control of the track. Now then brake really hard after the 150-metre board for turns 19 to 20 Cold Chicane. Was formerly known as the bus stop chicane, not anymore. And then across the start finish line we go to finish our hot lap, and that has been it.
We can get the we can get it all off your super soft, and now we can lay it on your TCS set on, right? Got you some slack.
Thank you, Savloy, for that track guide. But we're back now, so only one stuck in the stuck check, so hopefully we can get that cleared up and underway fairly soon. But looking at the times in the lobby when people are doing their practice laps, and CSX was at 1 and 2, and then I think it was Igtish, IGTSH went 2nd and 3rd, so CSX and IGTSH really bringing out the big guns for this race.
Yeah, I think could see one of those two teams getting their first win of this championship. But they all want to finish second place in the championship because, as you said, ARC's romped away with it. So they want it, you know. It just shows that CSX and Igtish really do want this win, and also for their team to finish second in the championship.
Yeah, they're definitely bringing out the big guns for this one, and it should be actually a pretty good race today. Let me actually see if I can find the sheet here for today's regulations. Let's see if I can find it. If not, Ruby can find it for me, if he happens to know where it is. Here we go. It's all right, so I see here, I don't see a Google Doc, but I do see the round 4 settings, which is, as we mentioned already, the Corvette C7 GR3 car. Tires are on 3 times, fuel is on 2 times, and only 1 set of softs for the race, but you have an unlimited amount in quali. So pretty straightforward, same as last round, except the car is different, but as well for a level playing field. So one thing I do want to bring up, ladies and gentlemen, is I do want to say thank you to all the teams for making this championship and just be what it is. It's been great to absolutely watch all these different teams go at it, and this is something that I don't think has really necessarily been done at this kind of scale. Like, I know other teams have done one-off races from other drivers from other teams that you see towards the top splits from Gran Turismo, but you don't normally see this kind of stuff where it's an ongoing team versus team championship that's scheduled. You have these scheduled dates and the points and everything. So I want to say big thank you to all the teams and all the drivers specifically for participating in this and making it what it is. It's grown every team that's participated in it. We've seen more subscribers on our YouTube than we've ever had before. We've had more drivers signing up for our GR3 championships and our other between championships. I'm sure a lot of these other teams may have had some other new drivers come in and race for them in the intermediate time. So big thank you to all the teams and all the drivers once again for allowing us to host this championship with them.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the other drivers and the teams, the SAS and CSX and that, all this wouldn't have been possible. So, you know, I mean, great job to every driver that have participated in this. This has been really fun, and I genuinely hope this is not the last time we will see of this.
I hope it's not either. I hope we get to have a season 2 of the Team versus Team Championships, either with some different teams or some returning teams. We might get to see some drivers again here and there. It'd be good to see this happen again.
Yeah, it should. It's been good fun. It's been really nice seeing the other teams' liveries and that, because I know Lato's been really keen on looking at those liveries and that. So yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's been great fun, and I really do hope that there will be a season 2 of this with the same teams of some new teams. Maybe, don't know yet, but I'm hoping it's going to be in the pipeline that there will be another season of this.
I do hope so too. Perhaps a longer season, one that's longer than 4 races. And I don't mean to throw any fire here or shoot some shots, but hopefully we get to see some more teams battling for that top spot on the podium, and it's not one team running away with it like we've had ARC this season. We want to see close racing here.
Yeah, I want to see 16 races. Yeah.
Another thing I do want to mention, speaking of growing communities, I want to thank you all of you for watching, and we do want to remind you to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. We've seen some great increase in growth and viewership and people joining the Discord, signing up to race ARC. We want to thank you all for doing that, and just want to make sure to remind you that hit that subscribe button, hit the like, leave a comment, all that good stuff. It helps grow the community, and it just helps everyone in this scenario.
I don't know if you've also noticed too, but Lateral and myself, we've got our voices back from last week.
Yeah, that last round of the GR3 championship race, it was super good. Big shout outs to Stig for doing what he did on his different tire strategy, and shout outs to Dan's and Nagati for having such a close race, even why the guy getting in the mix. It was so good.
Yeah.
But you were someone that was in that race, Ruby, so what do you think?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, see, nobody remembers me when I was in that race. That was so tense, and that was so fantastic that everybody forgot I was in there. I'm sad. No, yeah, I mean, for me, it was quite a boring race, and I had to watch everything from a distance. Obviously, me and my car are not fast enough to keep up with the big boys. So yeah, it was fun for you guys. That's important.
Well, it looks like everyone is away from the stuck check, so we should be getting qualifying started here momentarily. So that should be exciting to see, and you guys will get to see something other than the quali starting video, so you actually get to see some of these cars on track. So hopefully we can get that start here as soon as we can. As we're getting notifications, it'll start 2 minutes. So that's good to know. So your predictions, I want to see what you guys think. Who's going to come out second, third? What's your second through fifth? Your predictions. Who do you think? What team's going to finish where in this team championship?
Ooh, go on, Ruby. You go first.
I'll pull up the points again for you, just so you can have another look at it.
Yeah, please,
that will help.
Thank you very much. I do think Ikitish, and I'm sorry I pronounce it like that because I have to pronounce IGTSH. I have to pick up my tongue from the floor every single time. So I'll just go with Ikitish. I'll think they finish second. I really feel it. Two great drivers at Spa, followed by CSX, and then it's going to be a tight battle between Dre and GTRT somewhere. I'll keep an eye on that.
And what about you, Savoy?
It's looking at the points difference between CSX and IGTSH. There's 10 points. That could be pivotal for second place. And if the CSX boys are quick, then I would say. Well, in fact, we don't know who the GTRT drivers are or DRE if they've also got quick drivers too, but got nothing about for them, unfortunately. So for my predictions, I would say CSX, then IGTSH, GTRT, and then DRE.
Okay, I would probably have to agree with Savoy here. Just looking at the practice laps before qualifying here, CSX is definitely super fast. But even IGTSH has some super fast drivers, as Ruby said. So if I had to pick, it's going to be close. I think it's probably going to come down to pit strategy over anything else rather than raw pace. But I'm going to have to pick CSX ahead of IGTSH for that second spot. I could see GTRT finishing in fourth and DRE in fifth. That's going to be my prediction for this race.
Mind you, it's close for sixth in points. There was only 11 points separating SAS and GTSV. Who do you think will come out on top on that?
That's not fun. Let me pull up the points again just momentarily so I can have a look there. I know SAS, as we mentioned, has Lanatron on their team, who has raced with us before and has raced in these higher wear settings before. So we've known in the past that he knows how to save fuel, which is how ARC has been winning a lot of these races. They've just saved a lot of fuel and won on pit strategy and gained a lot of time on track because of it. So if I had to pick, I'm going to have to say SAS is going to take that 6th spot, and then GTSV is going to end up taking that 7th spot. And that's just my humble opinion.
Yeah, you could be right on that one. Yeah, when you said about Lanatron.
GTSV is going to prove us wrong on this one, so we get a great race in the end.
Qualifying
Qualifying
is now live. All the drivers doing their outlaps. So let's introduce our drivers for today. As you can see right now, first driver on track is the GTSV Cliffhanger. There you can see their livery. And then we have Indo for DRE, GRT Oz, CSX Dillingcliff. So you get that livery here as we come across the Kemmel. There's Lanatron for SAS. We have Arctaven representing ARC, and then we have Reba representing IGTSH. We have Mermaid representing ARC as well. So Lowy there for GTSD. Then we have GRT Debo. Then we have, let's see if I can get the press right button here, CSX Steven, I'm not quite sure. It's a bit different depending on where you live. We have IGTSH Mozzie. Then we have, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that, but I'm just going to call him Lucas because that's the one word I see in that name.
Yeah, Lucas. Yeah.
And then finally, we have Night View for SAS. Alright, now Cliffhanger leading the way on the outlaps. He'll be the first one to set quality lap, but seeing right now on the bottom of the screen, he's got mediums on, so I don't expect this first lap to be a fast one. I expect him to pit and put the soft tires on, but we could probably see him starting on the medium tires. That's probably why he has them on right now, doing the old Ruby strategy for Monza. I also see GTRT Oz also doing the same thing on the mediums for this out lap. Going to come in, put the softs on, and then do a good fast lap. Lantron, I think, might be the one to watch here. And to put his pace in perspective, he's someone who could easily be a Tier 8 driver in our Tier 3 championship season. So here he is. So we can see some good things from him in qualifying and not in the race. And as I did mention, both Oz and Cliffhanger making pits off for a set of soft tires. Looks like Indo will be the first one on a flying lap. Let's go on board with him and see what he can do for DRE.
It was a solid start to the season with DRE, but they've just slowly faded away. They had. If you think back to Fuji, they finished second and fourth, but they kept on battling against each other. They've done a lot better than that, but they haven't performed that well on those different tracks.
That they have, but here we have Indo for DRE doing his first flying lap, and hopefully DRE can get some solid points, and maybe all of our predictions could be thrown out the window if DRE can finally get this race back and have performance like we saw at Fuji. So he's going to be on these guys today, see if they can prove us wrong. Let's see what he can do here as he enters. Make sure I get the corner name right. That's
Rivage.
Rivage? Okay.
Yep, Rivage, yep. And now this is the corner with no name, turn 11.
Now to turn 12.
Pablo knows the track name better and the corners than I do when I'm a Belgian.
Hey, I'm the king of Spa. I got that name when I was playing too many Race Driver Grid when I was owning this track in the touring cars. That's why, Anyways, braking now at the Fangya chicane. Third gear. Is that kilometers per hour he's on? Yeah,
yes.
That looks it to be. Yeah,
yes.
Okay. So my maths is not good. How many is that in miles per hour? Anyway, into Stavilo 1 and Stavilo 2. Looks nice and tidy, this, from Indo, sorry.
Yeah, the Corvette, a very stable car in that rear end, and we've seen that from the quite a few Corvettes we have in the GR3 season we're running this time by. Just that Corvette's a super stable car, very easy to get the power down, all wheel spin.
Let's see if he goes, that's wrong shot. Now, this chicane bit has been changed so many times. It was like they had the bus stop chicane, and now it's gone to this. Do you prefer the old bus stop chicane or this one?
That's a tough one. Bus stop chicane's always fun to drive from a driver's perspective as it goes across the line with a 2:18.8, but that's pretty much on a full tank of fuel, so we can see that lap time drop by probably about a second towards the end of qualifying here, as there's 10 minutes left to go. But in my opinion, it's more fun to drive a bus stop. It's faster, it's more fun to go through. However, I do think the current layout we have now is safer, I feel. It's less likely to result in someone going into that pit wall.
Yeah, And who's that there? That it's a bit pixelated on my screen. Lowry goes second, so good luck for him. And is that Reba on pole?
Yes, he does. 2:16.6, almost on a full tank of fuel. So as we mentioned, Igtesh bringing out the big guns for this race.
And did he have help? Or was that by himself?
I'm not quite sure, but it looks like he's pulling off here. I think he might be doing what we've seen Chucky and them do in GR3 and just kind of pull off to the side and be like, that's my good lap, I'm not doing better than that, that's it. We've seen that a lot lately. A lot of drivers doing that one miracle lap on a full tank and just not being able to improve. Right now, he's 2.2 seconds ahead of Lowy in second. Currently, he's at a 2:18.8. He's only 200ths ahead of Indo in fourth for DRE. And then we have Lanatron in provisional fifth for SAS. Cliffhanger in sixth. Oz in seventh. Debo in eighth. Mozzie in ninth. Dylan Cliff in 10th. Steven, as I was told there in the chat, Steven in 11th. And then we have Taven and Mermaid in 12th and 13th, but they get to do a flying lap that they're doing now. It seems like they're working just slightly together, just within the slipstream there to pull Mermaid along. And currently we have Lucas in 14th. So let's stand board with the ARC boys and see what they can do as they're... Actually, no, this is going to be a slow lap. I'm looking at the lap time. That's 3 minutes. That's not going to be a good one for them, but this next one should be. Or they're going to pull into the pits and prove me wrong.
No. Now both pulling the pit lane. This could be a big race here for Mermaid because he drives a Chevrolet in season 3, and we didn't see him in the Monza race last week. So I'm hoping Mermaid is putting a little bit more practice in and try and make KLC get there 4 for 4. But with the way CSX and IGTSH are going, it's pretty unlikely at the moment, but you know, I hope I'm wrong.
I hope we're wrong too. We do want to see everyone perform to the best here. We're going to try our best. I know we work for ARC in a sense, but we do try our best to try and remain as unbiased as we can. Our boys now on their lap, so we're only going to have some quick maths here. 8 minutes, 7 minutes.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to
so
do
what?
that
What are you doing?
They can do 2 flying laps.
Yeah, 2 flying laps, yeah. They can do an out lap and 2 flyings, okay. No worries there. So where are the CSX boys? Is that 1 and 11th? Stephen isn't it?
Reba's still on pole, cliffhanger. CSX, we have Lantron who's in 5th. And I believe that was Nightview, currently in 3rd. So, or no, that's SAS, excuse me.
That's SAS. That's SAS.
So CSX, where are they? Here, 11th and 12th currently, but they have yet to really do a flying lap, other than Stefan, or Dylan Cliff and Stefan, excuse me. They'll go 3rd and 4th.
I've just realised those drivers have got reverse liveries. I've just noticed.
Oh yes,
Just
they
wanted
do.
to say the same thing.
I've just noticed that.
Yeah, great job on those liveries, whoever made them. They look great.
We've had to give shout-outs to every team going into these TVT races, but all these teams have done an excellent job of just making these cars look as good as possible.
Don't underestimate the power of a good livery. It's at least 50 bhp extra.
It's currently we have 9 minutes of qualifying with 6 minutes left to go. We have Reba still on pole.
I remember G-Fangs about that to me. G-Fangs about said that to me at the start of season 1. Oh, that livery's nice, and I'll give you 20 extra more brake horsepower. And I was like, nah, I didn't find it in my car.
We have currently IGTSH 1 and 2 as Reba and Mozzie are 1st and 2nd, CSX 3rd and 4th. We have GTSB Cliffhanger in 5th, Nightview in 6th for SAS, Indo 7th for DRE, Lantron 8th for SAS, Lowy 9th for GTSB, Oz in 10th for GTRT, Lucas, who's currently in a pit stop for DRE, but 11th, Debo in 12th for GTRT, and then we have Mermaid and Taven, who are now starting their flying lap.
They've kind of split They've split it out.
Yeah, they have. Taven has fallen back, but Mermaid is purple in that first sector without the draft. So let's see what he can do. Let's go on board with him and see what he can do as he crosses these sector splits. Now heading into turn 10.
Downhill ravage. It's hard to get on the brakes there because it's downhill, so it's a little bit tricky than you think.
Downshift back to 3rd for No Name. Back in the throttle early. Taking it fairly safe, not using as much track going too wide here. There we go. Now he uses the outside curb to get more speed to his corner. But even there, he doesn't use the outside curb, so perhaps he's cutting some of these track limits a little bit short.
Well, he doesn't have a lap on the board yet, so maybe just doesn't want to take all the risks yet. You know?
That's true.
First
Good lap. Sector 1 was Mermaid. So it's like here past sector 2 if he's in purple.
He is.
And he's up, okay.
He's up
Now then, let's see if you get the power of that Chevrolet past Blanchimont. How brave do you want to take it? You have to go Harry Flatters through there.
Let's see what he can do. Does he run it wide? Yes, he does. Be careful not to pick up this. There's a yellow flag.
Yellow flag.
As the driver pulled off to the side there, he's ghosted, so it won't affect the lap. Ooh, but a young ghost at just the wrong time. That might cost him.
That was Reba too.
That was Reba. Stewards might need to take a little bit of a look at that. If it costs Mermaid a good flying lap here, but he comes up to line and he goes pole anyways. Let's see what Taven can do as he crosses the line, and he goes even faster.
Wow. Well. Oh god, that's a surprise. I thought they were like leaving a bit too late, but we've seen this before for BRC. They do overtime, like Spielberg, Alex and Dan did the Nürburgring, and then they got up to 1 and 2. So yeah, solid laps for them too. I'd still want to see. I see the CSX boys. They're 5th and 7th, And it's still Igtish 3 and 4, is it? Yeah.
Yep, still Igtish 3 and 4. But one thing I do want to point out is Taven on pole, and it looks like he may be purple again here coming up to the split. I'm not even sure here. Yeah, he's still purple. But I just wanted to point out the fact that Taven went pole by 5 thousandths, and Mermaid had to do a little bit of a knee-jerk reaction to avoid Reba after he unghosted his car going in that final chicane. So if it wasn't for that, it's possible Mermaid could still have been pole position.
Quite possibly, but I don't think he'll be too bothered considering that it's his teammate that's on the front row, pole position, sorry. You know, got to think of the team game, but yeah, it should be good. I want to concentrate on Taven and see how fast he's going now.
Good point. And I think he has a bit of a draft from the car in front. Yeah, he's got Reba in front of him.
Yeah, that's Reba. Oh yeah, so that's going to help him a lot.
See what he can do here. Carrying a lot of speed, a little bit wide through there. Just a big slight adjustment to get back online. There you go, using all the runoff.
I think I just seen someone move up. Was that Night View gone up to 6th place for SAS? Or was that someone else?
Can't quite. Night View is at 6th, yes. But let's have a quick look through here as everyone's still doing their laps though. Taven pole, Mermaid 2nd, Reba and Mozzie 3rd and 4th for IGTSH. CSX Steven is in 5th, but he's got another flying lap to go. Night View in 6th for SAS. Cliffhanger 7th for GTSV. Dylan Cliff in 8th for CSX. 9th is Lowy for GTSV. GTRT Debo is in 10th. Indo 11th for DRE, but he's going to seemingly improve. Ultron, a bit poor qualifying from him, not quite able to get that good lap in, but he's on the flying one right now, currently in 12th for SAS, and he does seem to be improving. We have Oz in 13th for GTRT, and then Lucas in 14th for DRE. There's one driver. There you go. Mermaid is pulled off. I think he's done qualifying. He's not going to try and improve this lap. So it seems like he's done.
Let's see how Lanatron's doing. Because Lanatron looked like he was superiorly quick than his previous time. Let's see. There he is, going through chicane.
See what he can do as he comes up to the line. It's going to be pretty close. It's going to be 17. No, it's going to be an 18. But he doesn't manage to improve.
Oh. But he does have time to do one more lap. There's what, 10 seconds to go to the end of qualifying?
Yeah, he does. And Mermaid, that's what the yellow flag is. The yellow flag was from Mermaid who pulled off to the side of the track. Out of the way, shouldn't affect the lap movement anymore.
I think he pulled off way off La Source, didn't he?
Get a notification that quality is now over. So we see a lot of these drivers still flying laps. Let's see if we can find these other drivers here that aren't. So we have Dylan Cliff, who's going to come up to the end of his lap. Let's see if we can find these other drivers. Dylan, Cliff, Night View, and Steven. So what's Night View? Will he improve? No. Will Steven improve? No, Steven goes first! Steven goes pole!
Oh, wow! Steven goes pole!
Steven goes
and
pole.
what about his teammate? What about his teammate? He could be close.
Across the line, he goes 6th, but I don't think he's improved. So Steven on pole for CSX with a bit of help from Night View in front, giving him the draft. So let's see what the rest of these other drivers can do here. On board with Taven now, who's going through campus, turn 13 and 14. Can he improve? He's just slightly off the back of Cliffhanger, who's currently 8th place. Let's see who's going to be at the sector split. He's not up. His 17 seconds down. This is a slow lap for Taven, so Taven's not going to improve.
So
Mermaid's off.
Taven's gave up.
Can Reba improve? He's the next one to be crossing the line here, currently in 3rd place. Taking a lot of that curve. Has to be careful not to spin too much in the car. No penalty. It could be a good lap.
It's going to be close, you know.
Oh, he can't improve.
No, I think that mistake at the middle bit of the chicane there as Moxie gets a 3.7 second penalty. But we've lost where Steven has gone. He needs to be back on the track.
Yeah, he does. He did pull into the pits, but he was pulled. So he just went into the pits and came back out now. So he needs to cross the first split. He just needs to cross the first split, and his time will be scored. As Cliffhanger crosses the line, he will not improve. There's Indo in 9th. Let's see what Indo can do as he comes up to the line. He stays 9th, 10th. Lowy. Let's see if we can. There's still a lot of drivers crossing the line here, so let's see what Lowy can do. As it looks like someone else moved up. Looks like Luke has moved up to 8th place. So Lowy currently stays 10th, and then penalties. We have Debo. He's going to be the last one to cross the line. Stays 11th. There's one more driver across the line, but he has a penalty, so it shouldn't improve his lap time. And I believe it was, yeah, Reba.
I thought it was Moxie. Oh, no, it was Reba. No. Oh, I don't know.
Let's have a look at our live timing now. It says Taven is on pole, but if you look at the best lap, right there you go. See Steven. I always mix that up. I always see the PH and think it's an F. He's got a 16.1. That would put him on pole. He just has to cross the first sector split and everything would be correct. But seems like Steven on pole position, followed by Taven, Mermaid, Reba, Mozzie, Dylancliff, Nightview, Cliffhanger, Lucas, Indo, Debo, Lantron, Oz. Hey, Lowy might be in there too. Lowy should be, I want to say between 9th and 10th or somewhere around there.
Yeah, something about that.
But that's your times. And so, gentlemen, what are your thoughts?
It's going to be interesting to see ARC, IGTSH, and CSX. I think them three are going to look good. I'm surprised that Lanatron's down there. I thought he'd be right up there because he's, quite an experienced driver in our community. But was that better? That's
yeah,
not
sorry.
better.
I just didn't want to have the audio of the Corvette coming out of the place there.
All right, so there you go. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a straight shootout between those three teams. Again, like I said, Lanatron definitely struggled for me. I think he should be all right during the race, but apart from me, I'll see running away with the championship. It's really between CSX and IGTSH, which they're probably put down and probably changing tyres to now. Actually, that's why they're probably down there. But I think we're going to be in for an exciting race for the final round. I think.
Yeah, it definitely should be. It is going to be quite interesting to see who's going to be on what tires for the start of this race. As we mentioned, only the one set of softs are available for the drivers to use in the race, so it's up to you to use it wisely. But it looks like Steven, who's starting on pole, is opting for the medium tire.
Interesting.
That is very interesting. Normally you would see the person on pole starting on the soft tire. That's what we've seen a lot of times going up into this race, especially from the ARC drivers. They start on the soft to build the gap to roughly around 12 to 15 seconds. And when they make the pit stop, they have that huge buffer to just switch tires, fuel up, and then go to the end pretty much. So this is a bit of a reverse from what we're used to, starting on the mediums from Steven.
Yeah, it might be a risk, but it might pay off. He just needs to get the perfect start and just try and keep everyone behind, and then come the second half of the race, it will come to his advantage when he's on the softs and everyone else will be on the mediums. So he's just got to play this really smart ball there, Stephen.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be pretty interesting, especially with these Corvettes at the standing start for this series. And I know from experience that the Corvette has an excellent launch from a standing start just because of the absolute torque and the grip in the rear end. But with him starting a pole in the mediums, we could see 3 wide going into turn 1.
Ooh, that's a recipe for disaster if that's going to be the case.
Let's look through the rest of this field here. I'm not quite sure if this is all of them, but it looks like Mozzie is going to be starting on mediums as well as Nightview. Lowy also starting on mediums. Oh, we have Reba now on the mediums after he's come back on track. Dylancliff on the mediums. A lot of drivers opting for their mediums in their first stint. Lanatron.
Well, mate, this was what happened because to me the Spa race is sort of like Monza. It's a fast track, isn't it? It's got some sweeping corners, some tight corners as well. But if you think back to last week's race, a lot of the drivers started on the mediums and then they ended with the softs. I wonder if that could be possibly what's the word I was looking for? It could be a part for this because it's equally as fast as Monza, isn't it? So I don't know. Maybe mediums to soft might be the way to go. I don't know.
There we go. Hold on. Bit of a glitch here. We're looking at the timing screen and the race started. So you see it there, the Steven on pole, followed by Taven Mermaid as I can back out of this. So here we go. We're starting the final now. Steven on pole, Taven second, Mermaid third, Reba fourth, Mozzie fifth. That's your top 5. Standing start here at Cirque du Spa Francorchamps. and will get away strong. Will it be Steven or will Taven beat him into turn 1? Steven looks to get away pretty strong. Let's go on board with Taven. Steven has the inside, seems to be holding it. Will Taven try to go around the outside, maybe go for an undercut? There goes Mermaid trying to go by his teammate in ARC. Looking farther back down the field here. We can see the shuffling. On board.
Oh, someone spun! Someone just spun on the exit of that source. I think it was an SAS driver. Might be Nightview, maybe? It's Nightview, yeah.
So Nightview has a lot of ground to make up, but luckily he seems to be starting on the medium tire, so this thing is entirely thrown away from him. Back at the front, though, it's a battle for the lead. Steven has to defend from both the ARC drivers. They're going to go 3 wide on the Kemmel Straight.
Oh, well, there's your thing for 3 wide, as there they go. And that's the power with the soft tires. A little touch. It's okay.
Steven will lose 2 positions, but he's also on the medium tires, so that's to be expected. That's what ARC needed to do. They needed to use their soft tires as soon as they can, so now they can build that gap that they want. Looking back behind, it's still Reba and Mozzie in 4th and 5th, followed closely by the other CSX driver in Dylan Cliff. Back behind them, Cliffhanger is now in 7th, Rebo in 8th, Indo 9th, Lowy 10th, Lucas 11th, Oz in 12th, Lantron in 13th, and then Nightview at a distant 14th because of his spin. Currently on board with Dylan Cliff as he tries to hang on to this pack, his front pack of 6 for the lead of the race. It seems like ARC drivers at the front, he may be having a little bit of a run-in though. They seem to get pretty close to that braking zone, but I think the interesting thing here is how Steven is going to try and hold on to that 3rd place when he has some of the cars behind him on those soft tires. But I do believe both the Igtish drivers can see Lucas making a pretty nice move, or a defensive move there from Lowy for that 11th spot. I think the 2 cars behind him here are also on the mediums. Let me just double check and make sure. So Steven on the mediums. Let's see if I can actually get the name here. Big Reba and Mozzie also on the mediums. Dylan Cliff on the mediums, and Cliffhanger on the mediums, Debo on the mediums. The next driver on the softs is Indo as he goes up the inside. There, it looks like it was Debo who went a little bit wide there. Indo up to the inside in the hairpin chicane. Oh, Debo does have a penalty. He got a penalty. I think he went too wide on that. Let's see if I get the coordinate. They went too wide through Brent Lunchable. Picked up the half-a-second penalty, so he's going to have to serve it here. This is the first of the burns, I believe, going into T1, if I'm not mistaken. It is.
Yeah, there's a penalty bin, and he said he served it, so well done.
So we're going to have to keep an eye on the GRE boys, because they're starting on those soft tires. So we're going to have to try and see if they can make their way through the field. Back at the front, though, it's still ARC 1 and 2, and they've opened up almost a second lead over ahead of Steven.
Here comes Steven to the outside of Mermaid, going through the Kemmel Straight wing. Now, they don't want to battle each other here, and Mermaid just lets them by. Now, they don't want to be battling each other, they want to be working together, because if they're on softs and the guys behind are on mediums, they want to pull a huge gap as possible to the guys that are starting on the medium tyres. We saw this mistake last week, and it didn't pay off for them. So, that's what the ARC needs to do, just pull themselves a big gap. And then when the pit stops happen, get on the medium tyres and then see what happens from there.
Seems to be working that way now. So Mermaid may be struggling a little bit in that Corvette, but Taven seems to be thriving. He's faster than Mermaid qualifying. I think he got a really good run through Radion and was able to get the pass on Mermaid. Mermaid didn't fight him, so they lost a minimum amount of time. As there's a driver up the inside. Oh, Stefan goes very wide.
And so, and that's an Igtish driver getting the penalty. Was that Mozzie?
Contact there. I want to watch this out before we can get the replay. I want to see what happens here. Stefan still tries to hold on to the 5th as they're too wide coming out of that corner. Mozzie still has that penalty, but he's going to have to serve it here after the next few corners. That's the penalty zone coming up here. Only 2 tenths, so he's not going to lose too much. Yeah, there goes Dylan Cliff on the inside. Now he's about to lose another one to Cliffhanger.
And possibly Indo too.
Oh, they're almost 3 wide. So there's Mozzie serving his penalty, but now just what is happening here?
That was not. Yeah, I mean, what Mozzie did was he did that. What was that, Reba? No, it was Mozzie. Mozzie did everything right. He stayed over to the left-hand side, but the problem was there was a Steven there, but it was right behind him, and here comes. Who was that? And there's another penalty. This is carnage here.
Oh, there goes Lucas with his soft tires up the inside. So Stefan, in just a span of half a lap here at Spa, has gone from 3rd to 9th.
And that penalty there, he shouldn't really, because he must have shot. He went onto the grass to avoid What's
And
because
he
he was
didn't.
serving his
And what's
penalty.
interesting is he didn't burn it in the first penalty burn across the start-finish line. There was a penalty burn there, and he didn't burn it.
Yeah, but what I'm just trying to say was he was trying to pass someone on the outside in the Corpo Ferro, which is a penalty burn, but that was when Mozzi was, so he had to go into the grass to avoid them before being unghosted. So I don't know if that was really unfair on Stephen's part that he got a penalty, or what.
I think it was because I believe he picked it up because it would really widen the exit motion in turn 18.
Oh, well, maybe then, yeah. If that's the case, then never mind, Stephen.
I want to have a nice replay and see what happened to Steven here with these drivers as they were going through here. Steven's in third. He just goes really wide. There goes Riva. Back behind him, you can see Mozzie, who picked up the penalty earlier. So Steven makes his way back on track. There goes Mozzie trying to go up the inside. Not quite close enough. Maybe a bit of a touch.
Yeah, that was a big touch, yeah.
And then just this is where he starts losing positions.
Yeah. NASCAR terminology, it's called clotheslined.
At the front, Mermaid is once again leading over Taven, but Reba's actually closed up to the back of Taven, which is interesting because Taven was in the lead and now he's 1.5 seconds behind Mermaid. So what happened to Taven?
Mistake somewhere on the track there, but he seems to be it's a bit edgy to me. Yeah, he's running a little bit wide. He's got to be careful.
He's on those soft tires, so they should have that grip he needs compared to Reba, who's behind on the mediums.
Yeah, so he should definitely he should pull away from Reba, but the problem is with the slipstream being so big around here, it'd be quite possible. Reba ran really wide at Bronsham, and that might be a penalty possibly.
He managed to get away with it, but he leaked way too late in the final chicane, and that's going to cost him a lot of time.
Meanwhile, GTSV.
What's happening here?
Oh my god, look at... Oh, wow.
So,
You got the DRE drivers there?
yeah, DRE's moving up a lot of positions on those soft tires. They're even back behind. There's still more stuff going on. I want to get a replay of what happened here. Let's see what happened. So everything really kicks off there, back behind here. So you see, a bit of a punt from Indo up to Mozzie.
Yeah, Indo got punt. Yeah, Mozzie got a huge punt from Indo.
Getting a little bit looser. So let's have a look at it again from Indo's point of view. So we're all coming back on track after running wide through the exit of Blanchimont. Indo on the soft tires, brakes way too late in the inside of Mozzie. But I don't... That's a tough one. Mozzie came out of kind of out of nowhere. He did move in the braking zone.
Yeah, he did move in the braking zone and then brake right in front of Indo.
Mozzie!
Really that... Oh!
Indo, excuse me, having a real iffy moment there. Going through Les Combs.
Well, I did say in the chat to make it special. They're definitely making it special.
That's the argument. Indo once again wide, and here comes Dylan Cliff trying to look up the inside. Might lose this position, but Indo is making a lot of mistakes.
Come, there's Lucas, his teammate, right behind the back of Dylan Cliff, going into Pouon.
For right now, but this is currently a battle for 5th place, so good job to the DRE boys for making up as many positions as they have, but I'm sure the stewards will be taking a close look at the first 10 minutes of this race.
I just want to mention too, the guy in 4th place, who was that? What's his name? It's pixelated. Cliffhanger. He's doing an excellent job there for GTSV. Don't forget, they're sitting last place at the points. They're battling with SES to determine who's going to finish 6th. And who's the nearest SES driver in sight? I can't see who it is. Is it either Laudatron or is it? Well, we know Nike got punted. Yeah, Lauda in 11. So this is
here.
Yeah, he's going to serve it right about now, and he has done. So he's down to 13th place. So overall, this could be quite good for GTSV in the championship for them not to finish last.
Let's see, picked up battle. I was going to say for 6th place, Lucas manages to work his way by Dylan Cliff. So DRE up into 5th and 6th. They're gaining a lot of positions. But I'm sure those soft tires look quite warm right now. Let's have a quick look so you can see. There's Dylan. No, not Dylan, excuse me. Lucas in 6th. There's his teammate Indo ahead of him in 5th. Compared to Dylan's tires, he's on the mediums.
He's run someone right at last horse.
I wasn't quite sure. I was losing looking at the tires.
That was Steven. I think that was Steven, I think that was.
I think another thing to note is currently Mozzie, who was top 3, not top 3, top 5 is currently back down to 8th and is quickly being caught by Oz and Steven.
But when you say that, look at Steven. He started on pole and he's all the way down to 10th.
See what happens here with this battle for 8th, because it's interesting to me to see how these drivers who started up so high and has fallen so far, how they're going to cope with the mental stress of knowing that maybe they're being caught by some guys that they might perceive to be slower. Like Oz right now is in between these two guys who are within the top 5, but he seems to be maintaining steady with them, and they're making mistakes.
And you got Oz there too, setting for GTRT, and they're second in the points. It's certainly called the races be quite fun already. We're only 11 minutes in. Is Ruby still here?
He is. There goes Steven up the inside.
There
That
goes
was a great pass. Let's get a quick replay
Yeah,
of
that's
that
normally
one.
that's normally a place where you don't overtake someone as a poo on. That's a silky pass.
Great move from Steven up into 9th place again. Back at the front, Mermaid. Now within table within half a second of Mermaid for the lead, but they're both teammates. Reba still in 3rd, but he's in a solitary 3rd. He's 3.5 seconds in front, 3.5 seconds behind the next closest driver, which is Cliffhanger in 4th. Indo, who's in 5th, but he's actually catching Cliffhanger. But once again, Indo and his DRE teammate Lucas are on the soft tire. Dylan Cliff in 7th, Ozzy in 8th, as we've just shown. Steven up in the 9th under his pass, and Wuhan Oz at the 10th. His teammate, GTRT teammate Debo in 11th. And we have Nightview in 12th, and Lantron 13th, both SES drivers. And then we have Lowy, who's back now in 14th, and actually a distant 14th, so something must have happened to him that he didn't quite catch.
What do you think of the race then so far, Ruby?
A lot of things are going on, and I cannot follow. It's going all so fast. Just trying to keep up.
And then on board with Taven as he's hitting a nice slipstream on Mermaid. Will he make a pass or will he just stick it behind? He's sticking it behind, saving fuel.
Short shifting the Corvette is the fastest way to drive these Corvettes. The peak rev range is before it maxes out to the red line. Let's have a look through the rest of the field, see what everyone's doing. We'll have a look through the rest of the field, see what everyone's doing on fuel. We're 13 minutes into the race. There you see our leader, Mermaid, currently just under 25%. Taven, a little bit less than him, but he's in the draft, so he can try and make up the difference. And you see Reba, who's now in 3rd, also on the medium tires. That's another thing to note. He's a little bit less on fuel, but he doesn't also have a slipstream partner to get up there. There you see Cliffhanger, who's in 4th. That's his fuel level. Then you have Indo, who's actually doing pretty solid on fuel, despite being on the soft tires and pushing this stint. So good job from the DRE boys, but his teammate Lucas not looking too hot on his fuel level. He seems to be revving out the rev limiter quite a lot. That's not the optimal way to drive these Corvettes. Behind them, you have Dylan Cliff, who's looking pretty solid on his fuel as well. He's doing a pretty good job. And then we have Mozzie, who's in 8th. That's his fuel level. Behind him is Steven. And we have Oz in 10th. He's almost at halfway. Behind him is Nightview. And then we got Lanatron in 12th. I believe this is Lowy in 13th. And yeah, it's the GTRT driver. It's the GTRT driver of Debo, so he might have had a penalty somewhere. He's actually 10 seconds behind. So I think he must have spun somewhere. We didn't quite catch it as we were looking at the tire wear.
And this is not good for GTRT as they're sitting second in the points, and considering that the other teams that are ahead of them are kind of like behind in the points, they're way ahead of GTRT, so this could be disastrous for them.
It's not good. I believe the only 2 spots on the grid that don't score any points are 13th and 14th. So you have Lowy for get Lowy
GTSV,
here.
yes. GTSV, yes.
Yeah, and then we have GTRT and Debo. So right now they're only scoring 1 point. Whoa! Lowy almost loses the rear end of that car, but manages to catch it. Any damage for him? Nope.
No, I don't think so. No, he didn't hit any tire wall there. That was a nice classic tank slap moment.
It was. Back at the front, Taven now leads ahead of Mermaid, so they keep swapping positions, but there's a long straight where they can do without losing a lot of time. Reba's still in 3rd, but Cliffhanger is in 4th, but right behind him now is Indo on his soft tire. So let's go on board with Indo and see if he can take this 4th place from Cliffhanger.
I'll tell you what, fair play to Indo and the DRE boys. After the strong finish that they had at Fuji, they want to try and finish second points. I think they are the top drivers at the moment that are battling for that second place. And you can see them there sitting, what, 5th and 6th, is it? Him and Lucas. So this could be a great point stay if they can keep it up or go, or at least improve their positions.
Remember, they're on the soft tire, so they're using the faster tire now while starting farther back on the grid. So they're only getting positions in the meantime, but they're going to have to jump to the medium tire later on. So it's
Might
quite
go for a
possible.
pass here, the fang is chicane.
Cliffhanger looked wide on entry, but he managed to hold on to it. So Indo's looking real close here. He should probably get it going into the turn 19-20 chicane.
I might even do it here after Stavolo 2, possibly getting by through Blanchimont. Let's see what he does here, turn 16 here. And you can just see the run at closing speed there. Oh, it's just, oh, here we go. It's going to do it through Blanchimont.
Not quite getting in the room, but now he's going to try and make the room. Not quite going to go for it yet, though.
Let's see what Indo has to do is he's got to drive it smart here. He doesn't want to do it at a... Might do it here, though, as you said. Not yet, by the looks of it, no. He's got to get by Cliffhanger in a hurry here. He doesn't want to be stuck behind him for too long. Because Reaper's just ahead up there, you can see him.
Ooh, he goes wide through turn 1 left source. Now Indo's up the inside. He's going to get the position. So waits for a mistake from Cliffhanger and takes 4th place away.
Yep, he does. So nice there, nice driving there from Indo to get up into that 4th place. Now has he got time to catch Reaper in 3rd as he goes through Old Rouge Radio?
4.36.
Yeah.
4.4. Just made the pass, losing a bit of time there, but I don't think he's going to be able to catch him on stuff. They're going to start to suffer now, as Maddie and the chat did manage to point out. Looking at his tire wearing, they're definitely going to start to notice a pace drop. I was looking behind, it looks like there was a pass there as Lucas actually defending his position from Dylan Cliff. On board with Dylan Cliff now. See if he can manage to find a way by Lucas, or is just sitting in the stream waiting to try and maybe pass him and save a bit of fuel.
Lucas running a little wide in the middle of Rivage. See what he can do up into
See the difference that the soft tire makes, just being able to get on the throttle earlier, but then the slipstream would pull Dylan Cliff right back into contention.
Lucas looks like he's struggling on those soft tires. He's not hitting the apex as what he did there earlier in the race here. Let's see what he's like in the final chicane. It's a little better.
He had a bit of a dab at the apex there, so I don't think he's quite necessarily feeling the car. He doesn't quite trust what it's got right now.
Yeah, it doesn't look too comfortable, isn't he?
Ooh, as Dylan Cliff missed the apex slides wide, so he's starting to feel the medium tires a bit here. Almost 20 minutes into this race. Taven leads ahead of Mermaid. Arc 1-2. Reba's in 3rd, who is dropping off a lot, but again, Reba on the medium tire compared to Arc ahead of him, who are on the soft. Behind him is Indo, also on the soft tire. And we have GTSD Cliffhanger, who's still right there trying to hold on. As actually Reba makes his pit stop. Just making actually people will stop passing him here. I can't spectate him. He comes in.
So is this? Oh, someone else has gone in too. Who is that? Is that Lucas?
Lucas has come in, yeah. But look at Lucas's fuel. He's at 39%. So he's not saving any fuel here.
No, not at all. And this looks like to me that this could be a 2-stop strategy for these drivers that are pitting early.
It looks like ITTSH is going for that 2-stop strategy. And it looks like Lucas will also have to adapt to a 2-stop strategy.
I mean, we have seen in other races before a 1-stop strategy does work around here, but 2 stops, I don't know.
It's going to be pretty close. The pit lane here at Spa can cause a lot of time loss, but maybe even went from 3rd to 7th now. But he's on the soft tire, put a bit of more fuel in. Let's see what he can do.
He's got the post that are just right in front of him as they go through Le Combe.
22.5 seconds behind the leaders. See how that gap will drop and whether or not they'll actually react.
Did you say his teammate also came in too? Mozzie.
Yeah, Mozzie, right behind him.
Okay, so they're going for two-stop strategy here.
And behind them, let's see if I can find him. Lucas here at 12th also came in really early. He puts on a new set of mediums, so he's done his soft stint and fills up his tank all the way. So Luke is struggling with his fuel load in here.
Do you think he'll probably have to fuel save if he can make it to one stint? But I don't know, 39 minutes on one tank of fuel. It's gonna be pretty tricky for me. Like,
I don't think he can do that. I mean, he came in 39% left in his car, and that was 20 minutes into the race. So I think he's gonna have to adapt to a two-stop here.
Getting
possibly.
some inside information from the chat. The two-stop would be optimal for this race. So we'll see how it plays out. Interesting.
I would have thought a one-stop would have been the way to go, like, because I think that's what some of the other drivers went going for.
I think that's what Arc is going to try and go for here at the front, but they also have a lot of open air to themselves and took the lead at the beginning to build that gap that they need. There you see Cliffhanger making his stop now, so another driver. Cliffhanger coming in from his medium tires and just under a half a tank of fuel. Tires go on, fuel in the car. Again, as his teammate Oz also comes in. And the Lanatron for SAS also makes his pit stop as well. Cliffhanger's still
so
on the medium.
Cliffhanger's still on the medium, so he's going to go for the softs in his last run.
This is interesting to me because both Mozzie and his teammate ahead of him in Reba made a pit stop. But Mozzie, as we knew, he was a bit farther back come the pit stops. But now Cliffhanger makes his pit stop, and Mozzie's actually jumped Cliffhanger.
And Mozzie's on the softs, is he?
No. Yes, they should be on the softs, yes. But what's interesting to me is just how far back Mozzie was, and now he's ahead of Cliffhanger. Even after they both made a pit stop.
I think that's just the case of them being on the soft tyres. Obviously, you're a lot quicker on softs than you are on mediums. And someone's got a penalty. This is Reba.
So we have the server coming after Stavolo. He's closing right up to the back of Steven real quick here. And even ahead of him is teammate Dylan Cliff. This stint going to the actually he burns it into the braking zone.
Yeah, that's not a penalty, man. No,
It's
sure, it's not a penalty, man.
Yeah, that's the stewards are gonna be shaking their finger at that one.
Penalty burns at the start of the straight, the Keble straight, and after Stavolo 2, where the cars are coming to right now. That's the only penalty burn. You can't burn it on a different part of the track.
I mentioned the steward's going to be shaking their fingers here. He's going to be catching up to the back of Steven here, and he's getting his teammate in fourth ahead of him. So this stint might actually work out really well for Reba, because if you look at the gap between here and Hart...
I think we're still trying to make it a pass there, I think. I think he's got by.
Yes, he has. Excuse me. That's actually, I'm trying to look at the gap between the leaders there, but let's see if we get a replay of that. Just goes up the inside, brakes later on his better tires, and he's through.
Now, if he would have burned that penalty after Stavolo 2, he wouldn't have done that overtake.
Now he's up in the fifth, has to catch up to Dylan Cliff. I was going to say, it's now 21.6 seconds to the leader of Mermaid. So he's already gained a second from when he made his pit stop. He can get by Dylan Cliff. Indo, who is still on his soft tires but is quite worn, Reba's going to gain a lot of time in this stint, especially when you consider Mermaid and Tate going to have to jump back to the medium tire. So this stint could greatly favor Reba here, waiting to save his soft tires for this middle stint.
Yeah, but then, because I mean, I think to me it's clear that ARC is going for one stop. Reba and that lot are going for two stops. So I don't think it would be an issue for Mermaid and for Taven on that circumstances, because then Reba would have to go back to the medium tires. So I don't know. Like, I mean, he'll be closer to Mermaid and Taven, but then he'll have to make another pit stop.
That is very true. But he's gaining a lot of time in this stint doing it. And also Mermaid and Taven won't be able to go. Oh, is he dives
Oh,
up the
so nice.
inside, but they're still side by side. Can he get it done? He does. Great move from Reba.
That's a nice pass. That's a great move. Caught him unaware, didn't he?
Yeah, he
It's
did.
like a leap.
And even back behind, you can see his teammate in 7th trying to find his way by the other CSX teammate and Steven.
I think it's to me that the CSX boys are going for one stop as well, as Steven goes very wide.
I want to have another look at that. See if there was any contact between Steven and
He's
Steven.
flashing the lights.
There might have been a bit of contact. Let's see.
Let's see. He's flashing the lights to show his displeasure.
It's a
Yeah, it
close
was a
one.
little touch.
I think there might have been a small touch, but it's super minor.
Yeah, it was a little touch for me, and now Steven's got a penalty.
Have to burn it here on their start finish straight. There you go, he burns it. Burns it as directed. That's going to put him into the path of Cliffhanger, who might end up taking his position here. Will he be able to hold on? Cliffhanger around the outside into last source. Can he go for the over-under? He's going to try for the over-under.
He's trying to. He's trying for the crisscross. Oh, you don't want to go side by side through Rouge. That is absolutely daunting, but they're going to do it. They're going to breathe it out here. Who's going to come out on top here? And it's Steven that does it.
At the front, though. I actually want to go back to where Reba is and compare his gap now. It's now 18.9 seconds, so he's getting several seconds to stint over the leaders. Reba could be a dark horse to win this one, depending on if he can get his pit strategy right. And now his teammate Mozzie is even to have the other CSX driver in Dylan Cliff. Real close to the back of Mermaid there for the lead. Have to be careful here, but they're trying to make these soft tires last as long as they can. They're going for that one stop.
I think still the one stop's the best way to go. I don't think it would be a concern to Mermaid and Taven that Reba will be out with them, because I think they would have known that Reba made a pit stop considering that they had that medium slogan 9 minutes ago. So I think to them, they know that Reba's going to be on for the 2-stop. So I don't think it should be too much of a concern for Mermaid or Taven. It's really up to guys like Indo with that, if they can hold on to that position, for them for making a one-stop at all.
So I believe the top 3 right now are on a one-stop strategy. Mermaid, Taven, and Indo are on one-stop. Buzz and Mozzie are the first drivers on 2-stop strategies. So they're getting a lot of time now, but will they be able to hold on to it coming into the race? That's going to be the question. Taven's still not going to the pit. Indo not going to the pit yet. They should be coming in around the next lap, I would think.
Next lap or 2, I'd reckon that the one-stop drivers will make a pit stop.
Looks like Cliffhanger did manage to get by Stefan at some point around that last lap. Steven, I keep messing up that name. I'm sorry. We have Lucas is in 9th, who had to adapt to a 2-stop strategy, but he's on the mediums now. Back behind him, we have Nightview for SAS at 10th, Lanatron 11th. I believe it was Nightview that made his pit stop already, and then we have GTRT Oz, Lowy in 13th, and Debum 14th, so GTRT struggling here at Spa.
Yeah, we were just talking about they were second in points coming into this straight. It's going to put them a huge dent. It could be at least worse, 5th in the points now. So I'd say that's a disappointment. Considering one of the drivers did extremely well at Barcelona the week before, was it Splickle? Something like that.
I believe it was, yes.
So, all the hard work that Splickle did last month is
Let me just double check that. Let me just have a look here.
I'm sure it was Splickle.
Yes, it was Splickle.
Yeah, it was Splickle, yeah. I think he got was it second or third?
It ended up being, I believe, he ended up getting second.
Yeah. So, not a good day for the GTRT, but still plenty of time. We're nearly halfway through this race.
Yeah, we are. So up at the front, let's see. 30 seconds left to go to our halfway point. Let's see if these guys are actually going to come into the pit lane this time by.
You think they should. Again, I don't think if Reba comes out ahead, I don't think it would be too much of a concern for Tvt and Mermaid, knowing that Reba will have to make another pit stop. But I think they should be.
They stay
oh
out.
no, they're staying out. They're both staying out. Okay. Now what about Indo? Does he come in?
Indo might come in, but they're losing a lot of time to Reba now, who's now within 16 seconds of the leaders. From when he pitted, he was around 22.5 seconds behind. So Indo comes in.
Indo does come in, yeah. Look at the fuel though, 22%. That's pretty good going. He saved a ton of fuel.
Gonna go the medium tires here.
And who's that also come in now? Who is that? Is that Steven?
Yes, it is. It is Steven. He's on the medium,
So he's going to
gonna
go
jump
into
to the.
He's going to jump to softs.
So Indo comes out, full tank of fuel on Indo's car. Let's see what Steven does. Should be jumping to the softs now, I would expect. Going for that one
Should
stop
probably
strategy.
go roughly about 90% of fuel in.
He's on mediums. He's going for a two-stop and saving the softs for later.
Well, I mean, there's nothing in the rules to say that you don't need to finish the race on softs, is there?
Well, I mean, the softs technically are an optional tire. You don't have to use them. There's no rule that says you have to use both compounds. It just says that there's only one set of softs for you to use. So if he wants to go in for a one-stop strategy on mediums and mediums, he completely can. There's nothing that says he can.
Or you just hope that he hasn't had that pit glitch where you can't change tires. I mean, that's happened to me before.
Quite possible. But new tires did go on, so a new set of mediums are on this car.
Oh yeah, there was a new set of mediums. That's interesting. That really is interesting.
Bit of a battle here for 11th place.
All right.
He's going to go Manatron as he tries to find his way by here.
Just trying to go round the outside at Malmedy. That would be. I would have never seen a driver do that.
Boys fighting for that position. Is struggling with his tires. That way, hitting those ballers a little bit.
I would have thought Lanatron would have been higher up than where he is right now. We know how quick of a driver that he is. I'm just surprised to see him, that far back.
I have to admit, it's a bit of a surprise for me too. I spent quite a bit of time hyping him up as the leaders at the front are now coming in pit. So Taven and Mermaid pitting 20 and 22% fuel respectively. Let's see what they can do. They're going to jump to the medium tires, but the big thing for me is where Reba is, and he's definitely going to pass him here. So both IGTSH drivers are going to take the lead, but how big will the lead be?
Yeah, so they'll have to do qualifying laps depending how worn their tires are. They've got to produce loads of multiple qualifying laps to, if they want to win this race, they've got to produce it. So where they come out third and fourth, as Cliff goes in. Now does he change to softs?
CSX going for possibly a different strategy as a team here. Some more fuel going in his car. Let's see where he comes out. A lot of fuel going in to fill up the top. Not quite, but he's on the softs.
It's just surprising that Steven just opted to stick for mediums then.
It is, especially, it's a new set of mediums on that car. Definitely an interesting strategy, and it was someone who was on pole position and now in ninth. You saved the soft tires for later, you would think he'd be using them now, but I guess not. Back in the front, Reba ahead of Mozzie. Mozzie's actually closing quite a bit to the back of Reba, and roughly 4.5 seconds to Mermaid and Taven. But what's interesting to question right now is, are their soft tires dead to the point that their mediums are faster? And actually looking at their fuel,
and you can
Mozzie's
see,
fuel,
definitely. They're both flashing.
No, not Reba's not, but Mozzie is.
So Mozzie will. Obviously, Mozzie's not safe fuel, anyways.
So
But
Ark,
again,
I was going to say Ark should retake the lead within the next few laps when both drivers have to pit for fuel. But will their mediums at that point be too worn to be able to prevent the newer mediums that are going to be on Reba and Mozzie's car?
oh, Mozzie's just going for the lead.
Yeah, I think he's just because he knows he needs to pit. I think he knows his teammate, no, I need to get by. I need to make my pit stop, so let me by. Let me not lose any time. I need to pit before you. So, Reba.
Oh, Reba, hello. That's an unusual place to put your wheels on the grass there and to flash the lights. Is he not happy with Mozzie?
I don't know. He's dropping way back there. Like he put on the hazards a little bit and slowed right down. I want to open a replay of what happened there. I want to see. Go on board. Turn this on. can't. Shit, there we go. A little bit farther back, obviously here.
Yeah, it was a little bit farther back. Oh, and Moxie's staying out. Okay. Let's see then.
Just come on, he just lifts. Weird.
That is interesting. Why did he lift off the throttle?
It is weird. It wasn't like Mozzie caught right up to the back of him. It's a bit strange. Unless he's going to try and be the guy trying to back himself up into arc and slow down to let Mozzie get the gap that he needs to make his pit stop.
Quite possibly, though, but it's going to be a monumental task if you can do that, because I don't know what the gap is between him and Taven or Mermaid that came out ahead. So that's a weird one, that.
And it is. It's still 4.2 seconds, so it's not dropping too much. Taven and Mermaid still working together. Cliffhanger back up into 5th now. Indo into 6th after his pit stop. Dylan Cliff 7th. Lucas in 8th. There you can see them battling as they go through Radion.
I love that camera view. When they're just going through Eau Rouge, that's an awesome camera view. So go on board then.
Dylan Cliff is actually on the soft tires, if I'm not mistaken now, so I don't know if Lucas will be able to make the pass.
Yes! Yeah, and Lucas will be on the mediums because they both started on softs, didn't they? And is that Stephen in 9th? Yeah.
Yes. It is Stephen in 9th. Looks like Dylan Cliff will continue to build that gap over Lucas. Back behind them, it's Nightview in 10th. Lowey in 11th.
Oh, who went wide there? Was that Steven? Steven went right through Rivage.
I wasn't quite sure, but I was just trying to look through the rest of the field. But it's Lanatron currently in 12th ahead of GTRT Oz and his teammate GTRT Debo. And a distant 46 seconds behind in 14th.
Yeah, definitely struggling there with Debo. It's not what you want to see anyways.
Looks like GTSH has still gained more time over the ARC drivers. The gap has increased to 4.6, 4.7. So they're actually gaining time still on their tires, but Mozzie will have to pit.
Now then, remember Mozzie, don't do what happened to your teammates in Catalonia. You've had your softs, so go into the mediums now.
It's with 2% fuel. Let's see what he can do. What's he going to come with?
That was because of the earlier incidents in the opening few laps. That would have been. So hopefully he's changed onto mediums. Probably put about what 40% of fuel in. That should be good to go, isn't it?
22.
Shouldn't go all the way.
Shouldn't. 73%.
And he's on the mediums, so he's done right.
Comes out in 5th, ahead of Indo, a little bit behind Cliffhanger. Cliffhanger, looking at his tires, he's on the mediums, but he's on the pit again. So Mozzie will be able to take back that 4th place. But the interesting thing is whether or not Reba will be able to hold on ahead of Taven and Mermaid. And Taven and Mermaid still seem to be swapping positions on this Camel straight.
Yeah, they are, but I don't think they should be too far concerned about it, because like I said, they should know Reba should be pitting sometime soon. But I'm surprised with Mozzie they're putting a lot of fuel in. I didn't expect them to put 73% fuel in there. I would have thought maybe 40, and they'd be a little bit closer to Cliffhanger in 4th.
Doesn't seem like Mozzie's been doing any fuel saving this race.
Oh, he's flashing the camera, flashing the lights. Hello, Mozzie.
Might be a controller driver. That might be what we see in the flash of the lights.
Yeah, that's what it possibly could be. He's doing a great job though in 5th place for controller driver.
He is. The lights still
Hello!
flashing.
Hello! I wonder if he's watching the stream.
He's even flashing on the straight.
I wonder if he's actually watching the stream. All right, you've had your fun.
Well, Reapa's still leading by 5 seconds. Taven 2nd, Mermaid 3rd, Cliffhanger 4th. But he has to make another pit stop. He won't have enough fuel to make it to the end. Mozzie in 5th. Indo in 6th, who is ahead of Dylan Cliff, but it looks like Dylan Cliff is going to be on the soft tires. He's going to try and find a way by Indo here for that 6th spot.
Indo ran right through Stavalo 1 by the looks of it, and this could be a chance for Dylan to try and get by here.
Reba makes the pit stop.
Comes in.
Yeah, Reba comes in, so he's going to lose out, but he's going to jump to the medium tires. They're side by side. This is not a sector track you want to go side by side through. Fair play, he did it.
Backed off, got into the Astro.
The inside, late on the brakes. Still a little bit of a touch side by side. Looks like Indo will hold on to it for the moment, though.
Watch out for Cliff. Whoa! Getting loosey-goosey on the exit of the chicane.
Reba comes out. Let's see if we can find where he is.
Oh no, they're still battling. They might be going into the Lasso Serpent side by side.
I'm trying to see if I can find. There we go. Indo on the outside. Hold on to it. There's Cliffhanger getting himself
And
in
here
this
comes
mix now.
Oh my god, three cars going into Eau Rouge. That is got disaster written all over it. Oh, can Dylan Cliff hold on? Cliffhanger there breaks a little bit there. Smart thinking from Cliffhanger. Oh, look at the run Dylan Cliff has over Indo going through Radio.
Some soft tires, don't have to lift as much. Keep it flat, and he's through up into 5th place. Indo not letting him go, trying to barrel break him on the outside. He gets it done.
Whoa!
Indo just passed on the outside, going into Les Combs in the braking zone.
On medium tyres. But here comes Dylan again. Is he going to go through Rivage? Look at Cliffhanger around the outside of Cliff. There's so many cliffs. What's going on here?
Indo still holding on his medium tires, but he runs wide through here. He has to be careful. So Dylan Cliff looks to get that move done there, but will Cliffhanger go with him? He looks to be maybe a slight touch, but he's also through.
And there goes the two cliffs. Owen, he runs right in the middle of Pouhon.
One mistake and he loses 2 positions. That's all it takes when you're racing this close. Now Cliffhanger all over the back of Dylan.
Can you see what tyres is he's on?
He's on the softs. New set of softs. So he's on these tires till the end.
I'm trying to think back. Was he on softs at the start of the race?
No.
No, okay then. Right.
The only drivers that were on softs at the start was Arc and DRE.
Right, okay. Right, so let's see. Let's see what Cliff can do over Cliff. Who's going to win this? I'd say Cliff.
Moving back just a little bit, coming up to the braking zone. And try and get a good run out of it using the outside curve to carry more speed through the chicane. Can he get a good run? Not quite.
Flag.
Nothing major. There's the game being the game. Back at the front though, Mozzie and Reba have both made their pit stops. They're both back onto the medium tire now. Both have enough fuel to go to the end, but looking at the gap between them and Mark, it's now 14 seconds. I don't think that gap's going to be coming down that much. Also, I think Mozzie just happens to have the...
Oh, penalty for Reba! Penalty for Reba!
Cut through...
He's got to serve it here. He's got to serve it here.
Yeah, he should be serving it on the Camel Straight, and he doesn't. I think that's 2 for Reba that the stewards are going to have to take a look at.
Yeah, because he served one before going into left fan, yeah. So Reba's got to be a little bit careful. They're in a good position to take 2nd place at the points here. They don't want to mess it up with Reba making burning penalties in different parts of the track though.
Yeah, if he's not going to burn it correctly, that could cost them that 2nd spot. I mean, Dylan Cliff isn't that far behind them, and even Steven. And if he gets multiple penalties of not burning his penalties correctly, he can lose a lot of time to both the CF6 drivers, and they could jump them in the points.
I'm doing some calculations right now. At the moment, IGTSH would be sitting on 33 points, whereas CSX are sitting on 16 points. So the gap is 17 points. There was only 10 points separating them, so Igtish would be sitting in 2nd place here, but it's up to Reba if he can burn those penalties.
He should be burning it here.
He should be.
He's still not.
And he's still not. He's still not.
Looking back behind, looks like a close battle back behind them between Cliffhanger and Dylan Cliff. Nope, Cliffhanger's got by. Saw, and it's just building a gap. Also, I think, as I was saying earlier, I think Mozzie just happens to have bound the flash headlights button to his throttle.
Now then, let's see if not Reba can burn it here on the start-finish straight, which she does now, so...
Burns it eventually. David and Mermaid still 1 and 2, but they've actually lost a bit of time to Mozzie. It's now 13.6 seconds, but there's only 15 minutes left in the race. don't think they're going to catch in time.
I think they will. Not unless if Motzi stops flashing the lights all the time.
Fifth, Dylan Cliff. Sixth, Indo, and seventh, Steven and Anthony. Lau and Night View are making pit stops right now. 14 minutes left to go.
That's them making their second pit stop.
What's interesting is Night View's
So
now
Night
coming to the
View's-
softs.
Yeah, so he did the same strategy as Cliffhanger. Went for medium softs. I tell you what, that's a good recovery from Night View, considering he got hit off at the first lap at La Source. So sitting there in 10th place, that's a decent recovery.
And then Lucas in front of him is only 3.4 seconds up the road, and then Steven up the road from him. I don't think he's going to catch Steven, but he's going to retake that 9th place, so a decent recovery from Night View, adapting his strategy.
And we like the SAS boys, don't we? We like them a lot. Like Jake Danari, he's a good guy. Lanatron is too.
Yes, we have.
You didn't disappoint yourselves.
Yeah, they've raced with us many times in many of our championships, as namely, as you mentioned, JK Harry, Lanatron's filled in there and here and there. We even have a few CSX drivers also in our championship. Wise Guy, he's a notable
Wise
one.
Guy's Kobu. I think someone else too. Haggis NT is he one? No, I don't think he is.
I think he is. But I think there's an IGTSH driver at MJ Walter. Or am I mistaken? Let me just have a look on the championship.
I think that's an IGTL, isn't he?
That's reserves. GP. Let me just make sure if I can get the IGTL. Yes.
Yeah, IGTL. Yeah, there you go.
Dylan Cliff. He's still holding on to the back of Cliffhanger. 13 minutes left to go in this final round of the Team vs. Team Championships. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for joining us. It means a lot to us that you're all here. And once again, thanks to all the teams and all the drivers for making this championship possible. It means a lot to us here at ARC. It means a lot to you guys as well in your own channels and teams. I'm sure you all enjoy it just as much as we are. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, just one friendly reminder to, if you enjoy the racing you're seeing, hit that like button, hit subscribe. We can bring more races to you. Next Sunday, we have the third round of our GR3 Championship season live from Laguna Seca. So if you want to see some excellent racing like we had at Monza, feel free to show up for that one. Back to the racing at hand. ARC still 1 and 2. Third place is IGTSH with Mozzie and Reba. Cliffhanger 5th. Dylan Cliff in 6th. Indo 7th. Steven 8th. Lucas 9th. A side by side with Night View. It looks like Night View's going to be getting that past them to Night View. Lucas in 10th. Back behind them is going to be Lowy in 11th, Megatron in 12th, GTRT Oz and Devo in 13th and 14th.
And he's just served the penalty with their Devo.
So far, Sav, have you been enjoying this race so far?
It's been good fun, actually. The opening few laps was intense, a lot of carnage, and I got in there, like, Blanchimont and Stavlo. But other than that, it's been pretty tidy. To be honest with you, I didn't expect the ARC drivers to be 1 and 2, considering how far CSX and IGTSH were. So that actually kind of caught me by surprise. But other than that, it's been really good to watch this.
That it has.
You can see looking at Night View.
I was just gonna say, ARC is still leading the way pretty dominantly. Taven, a newer driver to the Team ARC. Mermaid, who's raced in team versus team events before, doing an excellent job, currently in 2nd. And IGTSH, as we mentioned, actually, Reba has been caught by Cliffhanger by a lot. So Reba might be losing this 4th place here.
This won't be good for IGTSH in the championship here. Look at how close Cliffhanger is. He's on the softs, isn't he?
Yeah, he is, and Reba's on the mediums. I didn't quite see that. I thought Reba still had quite a big buffer behind him to Cliffhanger and Dylan Cliff. Something might have happened to Reba. He's lost 3 seconds to the back of Mozzie, if not 4 or 5 seconds roughly.
Might want to check his 's lap time, see where he had that moment. But here comes Cliffhanger to the outside on the Kemmel Straight. Just look at that. He just breezes by like he wasn't even there.
Look at Reba has a bit of a penalty on the start-finish train. I think I have that replay queued now that we had the pass done. Let's have a quick look at it. So yeah, he has about a second penalty. He just serves coming out of that corner. And that's how they managed to catch up to him.
Okay then, so that's how. Now he's got to be careful here now as Reba, because you've got Dylan on the back of it too, and this could be pivotal for second place in the championship.
Yeah, it could be. I do want to have a little highlight. Does Steven make a jump to the offset? I just want to see, does Steven make a jump to the offset? He has it, but now he's all over the back of Indo for 7th. And Indo should be on the medium tires, but he might have to do a bit of fuel saving. He might not have just enough to get to the end. It's possible, but Steven might be able to get away by.
Yeah, to me, Indo's struggling on those mediums, and look how much he's closing through the middle of Puon because Indo took a different line. Let's see what they're like in the final chicane. Indo taking another different lane. You can see him just slightly missed the apex. Steven's hitting it fine. Here we go. He's going to make a pass somewhere too, and this is also improved CSX for the second place in the championship because that extra point would help a lot.
It definitely would. He's still trying to find a way by. He's not going to be easy. They're both on the same tires.
I'm going to have to do calculations here again. If Steven can get by Indo, now for the fact that Reba's down to 4th. Sorry, 5th, my apologies.
This car right in the middle of the track, and Steven's still struggling to find a way by. Indo making that Corvette as wide as he can.
He's got a bit of taxi from the gatekeeper himself, but he gets it sideways through the exit of his chicane, so too did Steven. So Indo still holds on to that 7th place, but it could be all under threat here.
Try and go for the outside over under. Can Indo go wide? He holds his line, and he still holds on to it.
Yeah, good driving in from Indo, holding on to that 7th place.
We got a short shift from Steven, excuse me.
How many times have you made that mistake?
I don't know. I see the PH and just how English works here. It's like there should be an F sound, but
it's not Stephen Curry that's racing in this. Anyways, he's going through the Kemmel Straight.
You see the slip
You can see
stream
him
working.
going defensive. Can he do it around the outside of Lake Com? Can he do it at the breaking point? No, he can't, but he'll have the inside. No! Indo getting quite aggressive when Steven gets it sideways.
Managed to hold on. The battle will reignite a little bit later. Back at the front, though. Ozzy still in 3rd. Cliffhanger now back and forth. Reba in 5th, but only just ahead of Dylan Cliff. No, don't forget Reba. Reba, he might only be in 5th right now, but there are a couple issues with the stewards we'll have to look at. So he may have time penalties coming up that he has to serve. So even if he loses this position to Dylan Cliff, he can still lose more. CSX from the team's championship could win out here. So this different position change, even if Dylan Cliff does manage to get by Reba, could blow the championship wide open for CSX.
So at the moment here, as it officially stands at the moment, IGTSH should be sitting on 76 points, whereas CSX are sitting, 6th and 8th? So they should be there on 76 place 72. So if Steven can find a way by Indo, that'll be another 2 points gained. So that'll be 18 points. Oh, it's going to be close. It'll be 76 for IDTSH and 74 for CSX. So realistically, it's up to Dylan Cliff. He can get by Reba because that'll be pivotal. Here comes Steven to the outside of the chicane. Can he do it this time? No, not just yet. Indo doing some great defensive driving to hold on, only for 7th place, but it's still a great battle.
He's doing an excellent job. Indo to try and hold on to 7th place for DRE. And Steven doing everything he can to try and get by. Back up here with Dylan Cliff. He's all over the back of Reba now. He's got his slipstream coming on with the Kemmel Straight. Will he be able to find a way by Reba?
He's got to get by him as soon as he can. If he wants to get CSX to go 2nd, he has to get by him. Here he goes. Oh, that's like a Michael Schumacher moment, that.
And he's through. Can he hold on? Will Reba try and find a way by? They're side by side, a little bit of a touch. Reba has the inside.
A little bit of the inside for Mamadou. And he's by!
But not quite. They're still side by side and looking back behind. So Gillincliffe does go through. And looking back behind, I was going to say, it looks like Steven and Reba are going at it still.
I mean, Endo.
Yeah, excuse me. So
Steven's got to find a way by here. Now that Reba's now down to 6th place. Let me do my calculations again for 2nd place. Oh, Endo one's right for turn 11. That's not going to help. Here comes Steven. Gets on the curb of Pouon, but Endo's going to be a little bit slower in the middle of Pouon.
Don't
go, he's on the track.
He's still having a hard time to find his way by. 4.5 minutes remaining left in this race.
You can just see Steven is desperate to try and get by Endo. He knows he's faster than Endo. It's just he's got to find a way by, but Endo's just got that knack of holding on to that position.
Just looking back up ahead, it looks like Reba and Gillincliffe still going at it for that 5th spot. Gillincliffe runs really wide, has to be careful not to pick up a penalty, and Reba's back by.
So again, the gap will be 2 points between CSX to IGTSH. And Steven goes to the outside. Blanchimon!
Oh, but he sticks it this time. He has the inside. He has the inside. Will he break later? Will Endo turn it on him a little bit? They're still side by side.
Endo's trying to squeeze Steven on going into turn 19, and they're still side by side. And then Endo still holds on to that 7th place.
Wow. Great racing between these two, honestly.
Look at the background. Night View is caught up there. Remember, it was about 17 seconds between himself to this battle. What is it now? Less than 10 seconds.
It's under 10, but there's only 3.5 minutes remaining.
Yeah.
Look back at the front. Gillincliffe's still in 6th. He's half a second behind Reba. He's not quite close enough to go for a move into Lecombe. We'll see. Here comes Steven. He's got the run. He's trying to go around the outside. Now he has the position, and he has the position, but Endo's been able to make this work. He's on the inside still. Ooh, that's contact. But now Endo loses it.
He's lost it. Oh, the hard work in the defense there just lost it.
Breaks a little
and now
bit
Steven's
too
in
late.
an 8-second place, and there comes Night View, and he's going to take 8th place. Oh, does he nearly?
Oh, there goes Endo again. Ooh.
I tell you what, PK would be proud of that Arabic drifting there, didn't it? Look at this.
On board with Endo. I think he brakes just way too late to try and take that position back. Runs into the side of Steven. He just carries way too much speed, and then the knock gets him sideways.
Yeah, and around she goes, and then we'll see later on in the replay, you'll see Night View nearly get that old roll in turn 8. You'll see here any second, there he is. Hello. I wonder if PK will rate that out of 10 for that drifting around Malmedy.
So Steven up into 7th, ahead of Gillincliffe, still in 6th, not quite able to catch up to the back of Reba. 1 minute and 50 seconds left to go.
Right, so let's see what the points is like now. So Big Tish will still have 30. CSX will have 18. They're the 6th and 7th. Yeah, 6th and 7th.
Gillincliffe won't be able to compete for that 5th place anymore. This should be the final lap, and he's just got just enough fuel for this lap time by, and his stops are 2 more. He won't be able to take that 5th place from Reba at this point.
So, to my reckoning then, if Reba doesn't have any more penalties after this race, it should be IGTSH that will finish 2nd in the championship, and then it will be CSX, DRE. Where's the first driver in that? They're like what?
DRE. It should be Endo in 9th.
Endo in 9th, and then you got Dylan in 10th. So yeah, DRE is not going to get 2nd. GTRTs, you see, are way back, aren't they? But Oz and Debo, they're way back. And I think for the battle between SAS to GTSV, I think it might be GTSV that's going to finish 6th place ahead of SAS. Considering where Dylan is.
Where Cliffhanger is, yeah.
Yeah. And this will be GTSV's best ever finish in this championship, because Reckless Native finished 5th last time in Catalonia, so that is a strong effort from Cliffhanger to finish in 4th place. Even though he is Belgium, it's his home track. Anyways, end of the race now.
And there we have it now, the final lap. As they're rounding out through Blanchimont, heading into the final chicane. This is it. The checkered flag is out. A few more quarters to go, and Arc will, I believe, take a clean sweep in the championship.
Yeah, and they're going to go a double file finish. They're going to do a Ferrari formation.
And they will.
They're both flash the lights there. 1-2. It's the second 1-2 finish that ARC had. Not a single finish in 3rd place. Great effort from Cliffhanger to finish in 4th. It's their best finish that a GTSV driver has done. Hopefully that will get them not last the points. Then you got Reba in 5th, considering those penalties that he took. He will finish in 5th. Then you've got Dylan Cliff in 6th. And then Stephen down there in 7th place. I don't think it's good enough for CSX to get 2nd in the points. But we'll see after the stewards meeting afterwards. Night View will finish in 8th place from a great recovery after being punted off at La Source on the first lap. So strong effort from him.
Yeah, going up to 9th place, actually getting up there at the top guys. And Indo comes across the line in 9th. In 10th place, it's going to be pretty close between these cars, but Lowy is going to get an advantage. In 10th, we managed to get by Lucas, who might be out of fuel. He's going to lose another position. Lanatron comes across the line, so Lucas is out of fuel at the line. And in 13th, we have GTRT Oz, and then his teammate Devo already crossed the line earlier. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's your finishing order.
I think, because of that out of fuel there, that Robocopy just got him, I think SAS may have finished. Sorry, Robocopy, my bad. Lanatron, I think with that pass there that Lucas ran out of fuel, that might have got SAS to finish 6th in the points.
Time will tell, especially after all the penalties and stuff that are decided by the stewards. So unofficially, your winner, Taven and Mermaid in 2nd, Mozzie, Cliffhanger 3rd and 4th, Reba in 5th, Dylan Cliff 6th, Steven in 7th, Nightview 8th, Indo 9th, Lowy 10th, Lanatron 11th, Lucas 12th, Oz at 13th, and Debo in 14th. That, ladies and gentlemen, is your unofficial finishing order. As we mentioned earlier, stewarding will be coming later, so keep an eye out for your championship to see where your team has finished. But ladies and gentlemen, that will conclude our broadcast for today. Once again, thank you all for joining us. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Savoy, for joining me, and Ruby. He's not here anymore, but he was here for a little bit, so thank you to him for joining us. Thank you to all the viewers for joining us and watching this race. So remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to keep up with all the updates on ARC, follow us on Twitter at ARC_PS4. If you like the racing that you see here, feel free to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. It means a lot to us. I see we're already at 30 likes, so you guys have definitely been hitting it, and big thank you to you guys for doing it. But it always means a lot to us, and it helps us grow all of our communities, especially in team versus team championships like this. And as always, if you're interested about competing with us, either in our GR3 championships or other interim championships, or you have a team of your own and you feel like mixing it up come the next time we run a team versus team season, join us in the Discord. Feel free to hit us up. We're always open to new drivers and new competitors for everything we do. So feel free to do all of that. And of course, don't forget to check out our merch. It means a lot to us. It helps us support. T-shirts, hoodies, mugs, stickers, all there. teespring.com/stores/adrenaline-racing-community. The dashes are needed in that link. But ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for everything. Thank you for joining us this season. This championship has been great. My name has been Lateral G.
And I've been Mike Savaloy.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching, and don't forget to keep racing.